Look who's here, Judge Napolitano. Judge, we got some legal things to talk to you about. First of all, and we started this chatter yesterday. Apparently some Democrats are worried about Hillary, whether or not she's up to snuff when it comes to health-wise, could make it across the finish line. And now apparently a former DNC chair by the name of Don Fowler said yesterday, I think there should be a contingency plan developed by 6 o'clock this afternoon. He said that yesterday.
The person who said that was appointed chair of the DNC by her husband.
Bill Clinton.
Right.
Yes. So the DNC, the Democratic National Committee, has all of the authority of the Democratic National Convention when the convention is not in session. So the 104 members of the DNC could, this afternoon, if they wanted to, by a simple majority vote, replace her, as they did with Senator Tom Eagleton for medical reasons. In 1972. There might be a political uproar. There'd be a battle between the Bernie Sanders and the Joe Biden people, but legally they can do it.
What about Tim Kaine? So it wouldn't automatically be Tim Kaine?
No, it would not automatically be Tim Kaine. And probably if it is Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders, Vice President Biden and Senator Sanders would want to choose their own VP candidate, who might be Senator Kaine or it might be somebody else.
It's never going to happen, right? Because the Democrats would lose the election.
I can't say it's never going to happen. It depends how sick she is and how much time she's off the campaign trail. Donald Trump will make hay, and rightfully so, while she's at home in Chappaqua. And as they see the poll numbers change, they're going to have to do something.
Well, yeah, we'll see if she's able to get out there. If there is more than just pneumonia, you can obviously beat pneumonia in a few days, even at her age. She is right that it is minor, can be treated, and she is being treated. Unless there's something else going on, and because of her credibility gap, we don't know what to believe.
Well, that's the point that our colleague Charles Krauthammer made last night. The credibility gap is getting worse. This is another example where the cover-up, the refusal to tell the press and us through the press the truth, is far worse than a simple case of pneumonia.
But she spoke to her staff, so don't worry about it. She straightened it out. Of course, it can't be her fault.
Staff is dropping like flies. What's happening down there?
They all have pneumonia.
But she has enough time to recover before the debate. That's what a lot of people are thinking. Maybe this is a way to get out of the debate.
If she lays low between now and the debate, you'll see an inversion in the numbers. You'll see Trump's numbers take off.
But
she can't do nothing.
But if she were to faint again, that would pretty much be it.
I would think that they would seriously have to do something. Remember, this can be done against her will. Senator Eagleton agreed to leave, but he didn't have to agree. If a simple majority says you're out, she would be out.
Meanwhile, there's some drama yesterday in front of the Oversight Committee, something that you have been studying as much as anyone. Jason Chaffetz has had as chairman of Oversight, and he called in an FBI agent to say, listen, you got to give us this material, and I want it unredacted. Let's listen.
The FBI provided Congress the full file with no redactions of personal identifiable information.
I cannot make that commitment sitting here today.
Then I'm going to issue a subpoena, and I'm going to do it right now. So let's go. I've signed this subpoena. We want all the 302s, and we would like the full file. You can accept service on behalf of the FBI?
Certainly.
You are hereby served.
Wow, he was
planning for that. The 302s is the federal government's terminology for the individual reports made by FBI agents as they interviewed each witnesses. We saw some of those 302s when they released them the day before, the Friday before Labor Day, but they were heavily, heavily redacted. While that was going on, what you just showed in the House, Senator Chuck Grassley in the Senate was blasting the FBI for doing the following. The FBI sent classified and non-classified material to the Senate Secure Room. The people running the Senate Secure Room are told to treat everything in there as if it's classified, including the non-classified. Senator Grassley goes in, reads the classified, reads the non-classified, wants to discuss the non-classified in public, and
they won't let him?
They won't let him. And then he says, if I could reveal what I saw, it's earth-shattering, but they won't let me reveal it. How can the FBI commingle classified and non-classified? I don't know if it was by mistake. Senator Grassley is arguing it was not by mistake and that they violated the law. Think about it. You have the executive branch, the FBI, preventing the legislative branch, in this case the Senate, from doing its job. Now you have the House of Representatives, what we just saw, utterly frustrated with the FBI and demanding to see everything.
Will the FBI be obligated to cough up the unredacted stuff?
Unless a judge intervenes. So now you have the prospect of either the FBI giving Senator Grassley and giving Congressman Chaffetz everything or going to a federal judge. Normally this happens when the FBI serves a subpoena,
so that means
but now it's been served on them.
That means it's not going to happen until after the election, because this is going to take a long time.
You know, there are judges sitting in an emergent capacity for applications like this. I wouldn't be surprised if it's resolved by the end of this week.
Whoa. You know, it's so interesting because Chaffetz said the same thing, that he looked at one copy. There was supposed to be 2 copies of documents.
Right.
He looked at the one copy. He looks at the other. It's supposed to be exactly the same. They're totally different. He had to go reread them all because the FBI gave him 2 different versions of the same thing. So
here's what we have heard from people who have seen this stuff. That the FBI is attempting to create a false impression of what they want us to think they found by selectively releasing all information. If all of it had been released, people could form their own opinions about the wisdom and lawfulness of the FBI's decision not to prosecute Mrs. Clinton.
I hope you're wrong about that, because the FBI would look really terrible.
Listen, I am a
very
big fan of the FBI. This is starting to look a little bit like a black eye for them.
All right, Judge, thank you very much.
Thanks,
You're
Judge.
welcome, guys.